You're a bachelor now. This is a bachelor pad.
You haven't seen Carmen in 6 months, and she just Beetlejuices back into your life out of nowhere? Come on!
She's not back into my life, Jimmy.
Good! Keep it that way.
I'm your new neighbor, Jabari.
Nice to meet you. I'm Meadow.
Girl, is that your neighbor?
Yeah, he's cute.
All right, then what happened?
Then I just took her home.
In an Uber, right?
Slept on the back of my bike.
Oh, God, I hate this feeling.
Meeting someone in the city is a big deal. Let it be a good big deal.
You rode a bitch home on your pegs?
You like Jamal. Nice.
Well, yeah, he's outside, and you don't really see that normally. What's going on out there? You have a backyard barbecue right now? Can you bring me some chips or something?
I'm making your plate. Actually,
Thank you so much. It looks so beautiful out there.
funny enough, my computer's sitting on the barbecue pit. Actually.
Okay.
Where are we right now?
Yeah,
where are you?
everything.
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee right now. And,
nice.
Yes,
Good.
yeah.
That place is awesome. Do you live there?
I just relocated from LA after being 19 years in LA. So I just got here.
Wow.
Nice,
Okay,
nice.
congratulations.
I feel like that's about to be me one day.
I know. I'm
Just move
loving
back
it.
to
Well, the
Cleveland.
backyard's great. I love what you got.
Well, let's jump into it because
He's like, enough.
speaking of
Yes.
new places, I mean, this was Jabari's like dream place, and I want to know like when you started getting all the success from your career, like when you get that first like nice place that felt like, yo, this is like I made it.
Well, actually, the apartment in Entergalatica is based on my apartment that I got in New York. My very first, my first big apartment in New York, but my second apartment.
Yeah.
It meant something to me in that moment because I was like, man, I finally have like, first off, like it was so cool because the elevator went right up to the floor and you like walk right in and it was just like, I just felt like, man, I can afford this really big loft. Like I made it, like I'm here. So I felt like that was something that, I wanted to start off the story. I was like, we need to start off with him starting a new chapter, like what is new happening in his life? Where is he at? And I was like, oh, okay, like maybe he got a promotion or a new job and he's moving into a new apartment, and that's how it all kind of snowballed into like, well, where does he meet Meadow? Oh shit, what if she's his neighbor? And it's like, oh man, but then you don't date neighbors. Ooh, that could be a conflict. So it was like all that kind of spitballed and like rolled into a whole bunch of things,
And Jessica, you've been, doing a lot of stuff, but I feel like adult animation hasn't really been our bag as much as it should. And I feel like this is like a great step into that. How more creative or how many more boundaries can we push in this world than we've been able to put on screen so far?
That's really cool. One of the pillars of this project was Black love in general, and I think you, Scott, were really like interested in, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, in showing that. And so in the animated space, I think there's always room for, representation in general and sexuality and gender and race. And I think showing that on screen in this way, in this sort of way where anything could happen in animation too, like you're not necessarily limited to, the elements. It's needed and it looks really cool to me. I think it's really cool to see these two, beautiful Black people falling in love in New York City in an animated space. Like it's not When Harry Met Sally, which is great, or like, something like that. It's like, oh no, we're gonna do this, from the mind of Scott. And so I think it's really cool, and there's plenty more room to do that, I think.
Yeah.
You're such an angel in your halo. Such an angel in your halo. Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from?
Can I help you?
Oh, I'm your new neighbor.
The music.
I am so sorry.
You live here?
Unbelievable. I go outside for 2 seconds and these derelicts turn my place into one oak.
He never said he lived here.
So, what's your name? Neighbor.
Jabari.
Nice to meet you, Jabari. I'm Meadow.
I see so many parallels to stuff you've already done, Scott. I mean, How to Make It in America. I feel some of that in this story. Of course, Man on the Moon 2, The Legend of Mr. Rager. I mean, you get Mr. Rager in here. Like, how many more of those seeds? If after I watch it 3 times, like, how many more things I'm gonna pick up from? Like, oh yeah, he referenced that from back in his music somewhere or something. Like, is there a whole bunch of little things like that in there?
Yeah, there's a couple more Easter eggs. That's dope that you picked up on those. But like, there's a few more. Like, they're not so obvious. You gotta kind of watch and look at some of the artwork in the background and things like this. There's a lot of references to old songs I've done, collabs I've done. So yeah, like and there's also like QR codes within the show.
Cool.
That lead you to the album or other little special scenes, like deleted scenes and extra stuff. So
I like the idea that it's like the Kid Cudi cinematic universe. You know what I mean? Like there's all these like really funny Easter eggs and stuff. I didn't know about the QR codes and stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, the QR codes was something that they came up with, and I was like, man, this would be really great to like throw the album in there. So because I don't want people confused. I want people to go get that album and consume the show at the same time. So it was nice to just have something in there to just bring people directly to it.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I remember when I seen you on Need for Speed. I was like, oh, this man, he about to have a career up here on screen, and you're doing so much stuff.
Yes, that's cool.
So keep doing your thing, man. I'm gonna go watch it again so I catch these Easter eggs, and thank y'all for the time.
Enjoy that. Enjoy that backyard. You bring me a plate of food, buddy.